All right, boys and girls, I'm back. Taking a break from mini keg intercooler stuff. We're not doing any mini keg intercooler stuff. I'm redoing this. It's gonna be better. V2 is gonna work and look good at the same time. This one only looks good. It doesn't work. Still a lot of heat soaking, and it damaged my MAF. I cooked my MAF inside of that. I was running it with the car, and I didn't have any ventilation. Just like everybody told me, hey, you need fresh air, and I was like, no, I'll be good. And it destroyed my MAF. But we're gonna move past that. We're gonna make another one. We're gonna make it work. It's gonna work properly, and it's still gonna look good. I got some intercooler piping and some other things, and we're gonna make that perfect. Now what we're gonna focus on is making my car pretty. I've done engine modifications, I've done suspension modifications. I focused on those two things. I made it a little faster, I made it ride a little bit better. I got hot shit sway bars, I got coilovers, the performance stuff. I got the front mount, I got the KO4, I got a tune from a company that I'm not going to name because I'm not happy with them right now. But the car is cool, but I want to make it look cool. So slowly and surely I've been getting and slowly putting on the car the different parts. S4 door blades, silver rocker panels. The front bumper I haven't run on my car because I like the little drift hot boy look. I'm a glutton for punishment. But I have the bumper and the eBay lower lip that's gonna go on there. I just haven't had time to put it. Plus, I keep losing these little bolts that go right there. I'll find it and I'll fix it. But I got the rocker panels done. The front bumper's under construction. And our next project is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I wanted a rear diffuser, and I've been concepting rear diffusers for my car for a really long time. But I haven't put one on my car because, one, I can't find one specifically the way that I like it. And I was going to build it or try to do a 3D render and have someone print it for me. But I just, it's to do that and to do all the R&D to get something 3D printed and that big is a lot of time and a lot of money. But I was joking around with a friend, and he has a Lexus ISF, and he had a $800 rear diffuser that he wasn't doing anything with because he had just gotten it. He had gotten into a crash his last track day, and it had ripped his front bumper and his rear bumper off. So we were playing around, and he's like, well, it looks like it could probably fit your car. And I said no, and he said, look, well, we can try it out, and if it works, so you just buy it off me. And we mocked it up really quick, and lo and behold, it does kind of fit the car. So I'm gonna mock it up so you guys can see it the way that I saw it. It's gonna need some trimming, of course. These sides, this whole thing, and this is too tall. This back part is too tall, and this side doesn't really fit well. But this whole centerpiece fits on perfect, like perfect. And this is like super good, well built carbon fiber rear diffuser for a Lexus ISF, a newer model Lexus ISF. So I got this from him, and I got a roof wing, and both of those things strangely fit on my car with a little bit of muscle. So I'm gonna mock it up so you guys can see it, and then I'm gonna get to cutting because I'm gonna cut this up a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm gonna cut the bumper or not. Probably, but I'm trying not to, or if I'm just gonna straight mount this onto the bumper. There's two ways to go about it. I'm still thinking about which way I should go about it. If I should mount it from behind and have this come from behind, or if I should just mount it on top of the existing bumper and not cut anything away. We'll see what happens. We're gonna get there. I got two mounting points in the bottom, which I'll have to figure out when I get down there to see what bracket or points I have. I still have to paint that, and I'll mock it up just so you guys can see what it looks like. I think it's gonna look great. I've been wanting a rear diffuser. I wanted something aggressive, but because I'm not tracking this car anymore, it could look good, and be kind of functional. So the goal right now is just to make the car look good. For sure, it's just to make the car look good right now. No more track days. That's what this car is for. This is the track car. When this is done, this is going to be this the goal for this car is just to beat it up at the track. My car now is just going to look good, and it's going to ride good, and it'll go a little fast. All right, let's mock this up. All right, here is the rear diffuser, all taped up and half mocked up, because I think it could come up a little bit more, and those sides definitely need to go for sure. Probably need to go for sure. They need to get cut, both the left and the right. But that middle part is golden, my friend. Also, I'm kind of trying to envision it in my head what the best way to do this would be, and it's looking like cutting the rear bumper in that location where it goes up and around this part right here, and taking that part, trimming it, of course, trimming the rear diffuser, trimming the inside rear part of the bumper, and then sandwiching it from the inside and having it poke out. So that might be the move. The guy that I got the rear diffuser from, he said that it would be cool just to trim the sides and then trim a little bit up to the top and go like in and around it, maybe like around it on the corners, and to make it nice and clean, and then just to mount it to the bumper real good. But I want this to look a little bit cleaner than it just being like just straight drilled on and held on with rivets. So I might just cut into it. I think cutting into it would be the best look. So I'm more than likely going to take my rear bumper off. I need to paint the rear bumper anyways, because the rest of the car is finally all silver. So the rear bumper is the last thing that needs to be painted, so it's not this two-tone color. And then we're going to get to mounting this. But it fits flush up to the car. I still have to go underneath and see where those mounting points sit, because those might be perfect and they might sit at 2 points. I still haven't gone underneath the car to check, bro. But from behind, it looks great. So far, it looks great. So we're underneath the car now. Just wanted to show you guys the mounting points that the rear diffuser has. That is one of them, and that is the other one. And from where you can see, there is no point to mount this on the car from where this is to right here. Now there are some points on the bumper, which I could probably make a little bracket to tap in. It's actually right here, and it's really close to this, only like a few inches away. But I might cut the bumper off, or this part of the bumper off, to make the rear diffuser work. So this is where the question lies. Do I just mount the diffuser on there and do some, some nice cuts on the rear diffuser, or do I not cut the rear diffuser and I cut the rear bumper? That's where I'm stuck right now. Man, I had a lot of junk in the trunk. Like, why do I got 4 balls in my car? What am I doing? I don't play sports. Plus all this extra tools and stuff. So what we're doing is we're going to take the bumper off, because we're going to put this rear diffuser on there. We're going to cut it. So I got to take some bolts. I got all this extra wiring. I don't know where it goes to. The previous owner was wiring something back here. But 4 bolts on each side. Then these 2. And there's 2 on the bottom, and this whole bumper comes out. And then we're going to mock it up again. And then we're going to get to cutting. Rear bumper off. Finally. Now I got to clean it up. I have to mock it up again, and I have to see where I'm cutting. I'm going to do a lot of measuring. I'm going to do a lot of taping. I got to paint that after I cut it, and then we're going to put it back on and we're going to test fit it. So I got the bumper off and I got it mocked up. So there are these sides that need to get trimmed off. So I'm more than likely just going to come really close to this edge and trim all the way up in this direction, or I'll just trim this whole thing off right here and just curve back that way, because this is going to go on the inside, and I'm going to trim this bottom part of the bumper. So I trimmed off the wings, and I'm probably going to trim this tab off. I'm not trying to cut too much off. I'm just going to trim exactly what I need to trim, and then I'm going to make a template of this whole outside edge and put that on the bumper so I can cut that out. But I'm just going to trim, just going to cut that straight, and the same thing over here, cut that straight. And I'm going to leave on as much material as I can. I don't want to cut this thing too much. Got the template that I made off of this. I got my center line from here, and I transferred all the tape and the template that I made off the back of this, and I put it on the bumper. And luckily, which is, well, probably not luckily, but this line from here to here is like almost perfectly exact the same width as the rear diffuser, so it's like perfect. So I just follow this line with the tape, so that's gonna stay on there. I'm not gonna cut into that, but the only thing I'm gonna cut is this round edge down in this direction, and then the same thing over here, round and down in that direction. And then when I go and apply the rear diffuser, I'm gonna apply it back this way. But there is my template of where I gotta start cutting. So today is a new day. I did a lot of cutting off camera. A lot of cutting off camera. It got kind of dark, and recording videos in the dark doesn't bode too well. So I got as much done as I can, and I fit the piece onto that. So I'm going to show you what that looks like now that it's ready to be fit on there. But I wanted to show you guys how much I had to trim off of the original piece just to make it work. And it really wasn't a lot, but I mean, it kind of was a lot. But I'm gonna lay it all out so you guys can see how much I had to trim off. All right, so here's the rear diffuser after I've cut up as much as it's gonna get cut up. The wings you guys already saw when I showed them earlier that I had to cut them, and then that other piece I had to cut off just to make it fit into the groove of the bumper, which I'll show you guys right now when I mock it, the final mock-up, and I'll show you guys how much I had to cut off the bumper. All right, so you guys can see earlier I showed you guys the template that I had to put on the rear diffuser, and then I transferred it onto here so I could get the layout of what I had to cut out. So this whole bottom chunk had to come out no matter what. This is the way that I wanted to put it all together, the way that I wanted it to come from this side and fit in. Now, it was like this was meant to be, because when I was looking at this last night, it looked like I was gonna have to cut all this reinforcement out. This is bumper reinforcement for the impact bar that's on the car. I thought I was gonna have to cut all this out so it could slide in here and it would be nice, and I'd have to cut more material. I was gonna have to cut more material off the diffuser, but luckily I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was cut this little tab off. So that's gone already. I did that last night. And then this part right here lifts up, and this whole bottom edge I could just lift up and slide the rear diffuser up there. So the installation for the diffuser became super simple. Lift it up, slide it in there, and then attach it to these 2 points, which I trimmed up a little bit where the exhaust is, and that's it. And then it's done. So now I'd have to clean it up. I'd have to paint, of course, the gray part, which, you know, it's gray, so it has to get painted up, and then put it all together. And rear diffuser from ISF project complete. I'm gonna put it together so you guys can see how it looks now, with me having to slide it into the position like I just described to you guys, and then you guys get to see my vision kind of come to life. Like I showed you guys, here's the rear diffuser piece that's been trimmed up, and it literally perfectly slides into the reinforcement piece. It just slides underneath it, and you can see it sliding there. So once I push it in even more, it'll fit in together with the bumper like a perfect puzzle piece. So I'm gonna finish sliding it in, and then I'm gonna turn it over so you guys can see the finished product. So this is how it fits together as a puzzle piece. I had to cut and trim this a little bit right here, but there's the cut where I cut out the whole rear part of the bumper. and then this part, the rear diffuser, slides into what I showed you guys already, and it looks dope. So this could have been way cleaner for sure. This could have come down a little bit more and been way cleaner, but it's not a big deal. I'll probably at a later date redo this whole little corner so it'll come up here, or I'll just trim this piece off. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is because it's not really bothering me that much. But I do have to paint this. I'm going through the process of making the car look nicer, like I said, and I'm gonna match the car finally, so it's all gonna be one color. And then the silver, this is gonna pop out from the silver a lot. Right now, it kind of disappears into the gray. Once the whole bumper is silver, the carbon fiber is gonna look great. So this is what it looks like right now. When it's done, we'll see how awesome this looks. Alright, so I hit the bumper with the silver spray paint LA7W that they sell at AutoZone or freaking Advanced Auto Parts, and I hit it with some clear. I'm just waiting for it to dry up. I hit it with 3 coats of the spray paint and then like 3 or 4 coats of the clear, so that will be nice. It's not a perfect paint job, but to get it to match to the other color, 10 feet away you can't notice it, 5 feet away you can't notice the difference in the paint. Maybe at a few inches, if you're really that picky, you can notice it, but on camera it looks fantastic. Alright, it's another day. We're gonna mount the diffuser onto the bumper. I have a game plan about how that's gonna happen. I got these L bracket tabs. I'm gonna start putting them on some mark locations on here, and I'm gonna epoxy them onto the surface of the fiberglass. And then from there, I'm gonna drill a hole onto the bottom reinforcement part of the bumper and attach them. So I'm gonna have 4 points on the inside right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting off with 2, and then I'm gonna put some bracket tabs from here to the other side. Alright, so I'm finally back on this project. I have been on and off on this thing for the last few days trying to get it together. There's been a lot of stuff in the background that I haven't really recorded just because I just wanted to get to work just to get this to a state where I was just going to show a video of me doing the final touches and then installing it, because the process was becoming way too lengthy. But a recap, I put brackets or attachment brackets onto the rear diffuser to where they're going to attach to this car. I had to redo these side brackets like 3 or 4 times because every time I thought I had an idea of a way that I would do it, the idea would fail. And because I'm not, really knowledgeable on how to do this, there is a lot of failures. So the first idea was I wanted to do like a reverse bolt, but because I really don't want to have drilled through the bumper. Like I don't want to be able to see a bolt on the back. That's too much of like a bolted on race car look that I don't want. I want it to look OEM plus versus full race car. So I had epoxied, like I just drilled a little divot and put the bolt head in reverse right here into this little hole, and then I put some paper and epoxy on top of that, and that worked for a little bit. But as soon as I started tightening the bolt onto the bracket back there, the bolt came out of its position over here and started spinning. So in theory, great idea. In practice, probably not so good. I probably could have done a few more things to secure the bolt onto the bumper, but as I just want to finish this project and then move on, because I got a lot of stuff that I need to catch up on. The track car, my car, the front bumper has been sitting in the garage forever, and this came up and I wanted to see if I could tackle this. So I did kind of figure out a good bracket system. It's not horrible, it's not the best. So I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put some double-sided 3M tape on the inside, because this bottom part of the bumper kind of flares out a little bit. It's not as flush as I want it to be, so this is gonna help with it being flush. And that's gonna conclude this little project. I'm just showing you guys all the brackets and stuff that I had to make, all the cuts, the final positioning for everything. And then after that, I'll probably show some video of the final look on the car. There's not a lot of sun today, so hopefully maybe the sun's out tomorrow. I'll put it on tomorrow so you guys can see it. If not, we'll just wait till the sun comes out. It's not a big deal. But I am gonna finish this today. This has to be done today. I'm done with this. But yeah, progress. So over the weekend, or not over the weekend, a few days ago, not over a few days, yesterday, finished the rear diffuser, and it looks so good. Oh my god, it looks so good. Like, seeing it in video doesn't do it justice. Also, seeing it in video, it looks way better than it looks in person. I see all the imperfections that I did and how I could make it better for next time, which I'm gonna make it better for next time. I'm gonna redo the whole thing. So I'm buying another bumper and I'm gonna redo it. I cut too much. Remember, people, measure twice, cut once, not just cut without measuring or making a template. Even though I did make a template, still, I'm gonna redo it. It looks okay, it looks good, but it could look better. The fitment could be better. It could be tighter. There's some gaps that I don't like, you know. But for what it is right now, it looks freaking dope. I hope you guys enjoyed the little process of me making this little part and putting it on my car that doesn't belong on my car in any way, shape, or form. This is not for Audis. It's for Lexus ISFs, but I mean, it fits. It looks really good, and it's like OEM. To me, it's OEM plus. Probably not to anybody else. To me, it's like, it's not too much, but it's just the right amount of rear diffuser where it doesn't look like it's overdoing it. You guys let me know what you think. Comment in the video if it's a win. Comment in the video if it's a fail. Just let me know what you guys think about it. I think it looks great. Oh man, it's sick. Alright guys, to the next little mod video. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike, whatever.